Hi everyone, I hope you had another amazing week. And this is our weekly video for conceptual physics. And let's see if we can get this one to be a little bit shorter. So I think you are now getting pretty used to the way this course is organized. And we're moving quickly, and as you know, we're covering a lot of topics this semester. But just a quick reminder that in terms of the assignments that we have coming up, this week we were covering chapter 1, kinematics, and so these were the corresponding content and assignments. So again, there's a pre-chapter check, but it's not for credit. And then projectile motion, that's a quiz based on a simulation. And homework set 1. All right, so now going into next week, we're going to take a look at chapter 2, dynamics. And so you can see the overview here, another pre-chapter check. We'll have the lecture videos in the chapter 2 content. We have a discussion called Waka Stack activity that I'm going to go over, and homework set 2. Before I go into more details about chapter 2, I wanted to point out that chapter 2, as you can see, is the last chapter of unit 1. Great job for already, almost completing our first unit here. What you'll also see is that at the end of each unit, we have an exam, and so we're going to have our first exam coming up after we complete chapter 2. I will share more information as we get closer, but since it's coming up, I wanted to point out at least where to find the information and an important tool that you have at your disposal to get ready for the exam. So the exam 1 information page gives you information about the timeline and also the format. So this exam will be 3 hours once you start. It will be multiple choice questions that covers all of those chapters that we're covering in this unit. So you can see we're going through unit 1, chapter 0, 1 and 2 in the textbook. And so I just want to say this is plenty of time to complete this exam. You should be able to finish within an hour, but I know sometimes we may have technical difficulties, or there's the anxiety of taking an exam at home, etc. But I will ask that you please read this page. Make sure that when you are ready to start, so not quite yet, you are in the best conditions possible. So, good internet connection and all that good stuff. I also want to point out that usually I will give you Monday through Friday to complete. So if you look at unit 2 that has just been published, you'll have Monday through Friday. But we run into a holiday weekend, so I didn't want to have that being taken away from your holiday, so you're having some extra days. So it's actually going to be open for over a week. So this should be a parenthesis here. So something to start thinking about. First, I would cover chapter 2 and make sure you have those materials ready to go, and then you can start practicing, and I will show you how you can do that. Also, you have 2 attempts at this exam, so I would suggest that you take a first attempt earlier in the week, so you have enough time to take it again if you're not happy with the results. So that tool that you have that is ready to go, available already, is sorry, I have to scroll through everything again. It's this practice exam 1. So we just looked at exam 1 information. Practice exam 1 is not for credit. You can see 0 points here. This is something that you can take as many times as you want. And essentially it will generate a test with 35 questions, just like the actual exam, and will let you, see the types of questions that you may get. Some may be repeat questions too. You can take it, well, I think 99 times. So I would not do that, but I would at least try to get to take a practice exam once. If you want to practice more, when you take it again, it will be a new test with a new set of 35 questions, right? So this is the best preparation. Do that in real conditions, and that is a really good way to prepare for the exam. Okay. And then when you're ready, you can take the actual exam, which this one will be for credit. And as mentioned, this is something that you can take twice. So you have 2 attempts. Okay. I will remind you of that as we get closer. But as soon as you're done with your assignments for chapter 2, essentially it's a good time to start studying for the first exam that will be coming up. All right, so now for the chapter 2 on dynamics, this is really important. It's a foundation for a lot of things that are coming. We will be using a lot of chapter 1 kinematics vocabulary. In chapter 1, we learn, what are those variables that are used to describe the motion. In chapter 2, we are going to be learning about how that motion happens, right? And so we're going to talk about Newton's laws of motion. We're going to talk about forces, right? So kinematics describes the way objects move, while dynamics explains the causes of the motion. So we're going to be relating those forces. We're going to learn about different types of forces, and we're going to see how they make an object move and how that can be described or calculated using Newton's laws of motion. So these are our learning outcomes. As mentioned, we're going to define new variables. Namely, we're going to be talking about forces a lot. We're going to define a lot of forces that are going to come up in a lot of situations. So normal force, spring force, friction, etc. And then we're going to go over Newton's laws of motions, first, second, third, and we're going to then look at applications. So a lot of these things you see here will be applications of those laws, and we're going to try to practice applying those laws. I'm not going to spend too much time here. It's the same as the other chapters, where you can see you have some intro videos that are external. They're shorter. I think they're really helpful. So if you have a chance, I would really recommend that you read those. Then we have our pre-chapter check. Again, I'm not going to go over that. You can skip over or take a look and see, as you get started, the types of questions that we're going to try to answer. All right, so then we go into our lecture content with our videos. So there's a little bit of historical background here, and talking about forces, various 3 laws of motion according to Newton, applications, and then you'll see that we have additional resources, which are simulations and additional videos that can help understand some of the stuff that we're going to talk about. This chapter covers a lot, just like a lot of chapters that we cover in this course, because some of these things that we see in 1 week we could talk about for a whole semester if we went into more details. But this is not the point of this course, right? This course is conceptual physics, so we're trying to get a sense, right, of a broader sense, right, of what all of these this physics is all about, and then hopefully enough that you can learn more about these topics in other courses or on your own later. All right, so I really like this activity. I hope you will have fun completing it. Every time I grade this one, it's really fun because I get to see what you have come up with. But this activity is called Walk a Stack Activity. And you're going to be creating your own experiment to test out Newton's first law of motion. So you're not about Newton's first law. I'm not here to re-explain everything, but what you're going to, so you have two options, and if we come up with something else, you're welcome to also do that. But it's called Walk a Stack because, so you can see here we have a link to this activity from the Exploratorium, which is a really fun place to check out if you haven't had a chance to do so before. But you can actually see the experiment here. We're literally, so we have a stack of objects and we're walking it, and the idea is to see how the objects are falling. And the idea is to do something similar to this. And so you can see this objects, the stack is falling vertically downward. But again, I'll let you learn more about the first law and seeing how, is going to apply here. But you will also see, right, it's actually like there's more explanation as you explore this page. But what you're going to be doing is come up with your own materials, and it can be anything you have at home around you, and so you'll want something that will be building your stack, right? So objects that you'll be able to whack like these wooden blocks. It doesn't have to be wooden blocks. I have seen all kinds of creative ways to build your stack. I don't want to give examples because I feel like that might influence you too much, but you get the idea. And you'll also need your whacker, something, right? So in this case, it's a PVC pipe. It tells you it could be a meter stick. There could be a lot of things. And you can do this at different scales, right? And so I'll let you be creative with that. And the idea is so if you decide to do this experiment, you should post what you use as your stack and as your whacker, and then give observations and conclusions and how it worked, and attach a picture. So make sure that as you do this, attach a picture or a video of your experiment, and you can comment on, did it work? Were you successful? If it was not successful, maybe it was a lot of friction, maybe like the objects were very heavy. And there's an example here of a post. If you would like another option, you can also do the egg drop experiment, and you can click on the link to check it out. You may have seen this before. This is also, so it may get more messy. There's a bunch of experiments also if you Google an egg drop experiment, but that's another option that's also popular and also very fun to watch. If you do that, just be careful not to make a mess, or plan for that. It usually works, but when it doesn't work, you can make a mess. So that's your discussion for this week. So if you pick the egg drop, you can say you're doing the egg drop experiment and post a picture or a video. I've seen a number of videos of the egg drop experiment in slow-mo. Same thing for the walk stack. That's something that's sometimes it's really fun to see those. But that's it for this week. If you have any questions, please let me know. You will see also that I have published Unit 2, since we are getting to our last chapter of Unit 1. So all of Unit 2 has been posted. All right, so if you want to keep going, you can do so. And also, one quick reminder is that we are forming groups for your project, so make sure to contribute to the discussion, so you can find your group to work on the projects. Once we have the groups, I will publish more of this project part 1 and share more information. All right, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful weekend.